I used this method to accurately predict last year's Bitcoin peak. Last June, I repeatedly posted for my subscribers that the Bitcoin peak would be in September and that it hadn't arrived yet. As a result, it hit its first peak in late August, and after reaching its final peak in late October, Bitcoin entered a downturn. At that time, the market was filled with endless euphoria, and there were even forecasts that Bitcoin could reach $1 million. However, I kept advising to sell, and the subscribers who believed me were able to avoid the downturn. Now, I'm going to tell you exactly how I did all of this. Every asset definitely has its time to shine. Asset classes are broadly divided into 4 categories. They are stocks, bonds, commodities, and cash equivalent assets. You just need to identify which asset class will do well at what time and hop on. Stocks do well when interest rates are low or frozen. Last year, in 2025, the US kept rates frozen before announcing aggressive cuts starting in the second half. Once the rate cut signal dropped, the market surged like crazy, and most cash equivalent assets flowed into the stock market. At this time, not only Bitcoin but also big tech companies like Nvidia, Google, and Meta rose significantly. It was a bull market created as cash assets lost appeal and funds flocked to high-growth risk assets due to rate cuts. Since rate cuts create the backdrop for a stock market rally like this, you must be aware of them. Now, it's breaking last year's downward trend and shifting upward, showing that a downturn has arrived for the stock market. Now you've learned how interest rates affect the stock market. While it's true that rates are a powerful trigger for market direction, we need a bit more information. The rotation chart shows the strength of various asset classes and momentum, and you should use this to invest in those with strong momentum. It's customized here to compare various asset classes, and what you need to look at is the Growth Value tab. When you click it, 2 indices are displayed on the chart. The indices continuously rotate in a clockwise direction. In the 4 phases, the top phase means strength, while the bottom shows it's weakening or has fallen into a weak phase. DJUSGR is the United States Growth Stock Index. When looking at stock market momentum, you can look at the Growth Stock Index. It's currently in a weak zone, but let's turn back the clock to last May. Looking at the Growth Stock Index last May, it left the lagging zone and entered the improving zone. This is a signal that momentum is reviving, and if you look at the Bitcoin chart, then an uptrend is starting. By looking at the RG chart, you can see where momentum is weakening, so you can also see the progress of the cycle. Now, let's move forward a little bit more from here. I've moved it forward to August, and the Growth Stock Index is gradually falling down. Since it rotates clockwise over time, falling into a weak zone is a signal that it'll lose momentum and the trend will reverse or a consolidation will begin. From this point on, you have to be aware. The cycle is almost over and it's time to sell the assets you're holding. If we turn back time a bit more to October 10th, 2025, the Growth Stock Index finally falls into a weak zone, and from then on, Bitcoin turns downward. Coming back to the current situation, growth stocks have completely lost momentum, while value stocks have gained great momentum and are on an upward trend. When value stocks fall and growth stocks enter the improving zone again, it's a golden opportunity to get on the cycle. With just the RRG chart, the difficulty of investing is significantly reduced. Most people don't know this and just throw away their precious assets after seeing strange posts or FOMO-inducing news on Twitter. I guarantee you that 90% of investment prediction posts on Twitter are useless. Just trust the market's momentum. Time and environment are everything. Now is the time for value stocks. Growth stocks still need more time. In the next video, I'll talk about how to get on at the right time based on the cycle. Thank you.